Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to CMPS 1023, The Digital Culture. My name is Ted Lane, and I'll be your instructor for this term, for this semester. Brief background: I live in Denton, and so I've been teaching for Midwestern for about a year now. I've taught this class several times. I also teach CMPS 3663, Intro to Cybersecurity. I have a good background to really kind of understand where you're coming at from being remote learners, and that I got my bachelor's degree from Chapman University in Orange, California in 1988, but I've still never set foot on that campus. Additionally, even with Midwestern, I started off on campus from 1998 to 1989, and completed through 1995, but I wasn't complete, and then came back 20 something years later in 2019 to finish up, and did all of that remotely because I live in Denton. So the other thing I usually start off with is to tell you that I'm not an academic. I enjoy academia and everything else, but the vast majority of my experience has been as a practitioner. And so I've spent 40 years in technology and in IT, and the last 25 years have specifically been very focused on information security and the like. But background was, okay, I was career Air Force, and I retired from the Air Force at Shepherd in 1995, which explains why why I was there for the first part of my journey towards getting a master's degree. I won't go into details of my Air Force career. All I can say is they were very technical and they were very relevant, but I don't want to waste time at this point. I tell a lot of stories, but I have promised myself that I'm going to try to make sure that the stories are relevant. So, if you are interested in that kind of stuff later on, we will probably have about 3 opportunities this year for me to be on campus. And as those get straightened out, I will let you know what those dates are and where. So, anyway, retired from the Air Force again in 95, and went on to into my civilian career, and predominantly was in technology management. Again, very technical, lots of different stuff, but that stuff is all there's at least an outline of what's there in on my profile on the MSU website, and that's enough about me. And so that means that what we need to do is move over to let's move over to the let's move over to the desktop so we can see what this looks like. So first of all, this is D2L. If you're seeing this exam, you've gotten this far, so I probably don't even need to say that. However, the D2L is kind of everything in an online class. This is where you will get your instruction. This is where you will put your assignments. This is where you see your grades. Communication happens. It's actually a very complete package. So CMPS 1023 is an introductory class intended to be taken for most people in their first year. So I will tailor some comments specifically for people that this is their first college class. And for those of you that this is not your first college class, hang in there. This is important for your teammates as well, or for your classmates as well. And so bear with me. I'm trying to move through this relatively rapidly because there's a lot of material to do, and I don't want to waste a lot of your time on a lot of stuff that isn't really going to make any difference. But I do want to step through. Let's take a real quick look at D2L, and I'm going to point out some relevant things. you see the course browser. This kind of tells you what's coming up, and you can drill down on it and everything else. I'm not going to get into that because I don't find that the course browser really helps in what I'm trying to do here. I really prefer to go to content so that you can see more a broader picture of what's coming up. Now, in particular, we're going to talk about week 1 and the activities that need to happen there. Now, the reason I'm going into it is first of all, this material, the intro that you're currently watching, good for you, and the syllabus and the calendar contain information that's frequently overlooked that causes people problems later on. So we're going to go through this, and I'm going to highlight the things that cause people problems. This has been such a problem over the last year that I have changed the course so that you will not be able to actually move on to the other course materials, the other assignments and all that kind of thing until you've seen this intro, read the syllabus, read the calendar, and then taken a syllabus quiz. You must pass the syllabus quiz before the other content will be available to you. It will happen automatically. So spend some time after we go through this intro, take a glance again on your own, try to make sure you understand those things on what's going on in there. So let's get to the syllabus because here's where most of it is. So, title, dates, you guys probably already know this stuff, so no need to spend any time on it. In the catalog description, I'm assuming that you have seen the catalog description previously, probably when you picked this class. So no need to really dig into that. So instructor, we've already covered that part. I do work remotely, so I do not have an office on campus. Like I said, and now office hours are the thing that I really wanted to spend a little bit of time on. So from Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, from between 10 and noon, I am generally at my desk at home, and I will have email up, and I'll be keeping an eye on any incoming emails with questions to respond to. Now the reality is that email is pretty much open all the time. I may or may not be at my desk, but my email is pretty much open all the time, and I don't wait for office hours to respond. So, but I can tell you that if you send me an email at midnight, I'm probably not going to respond, but I do try to respond as rapidly as possible. But officially, my office hours are Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 10 to 12. You can if you want to really have a conversation, and those times don't work, you can just tell me some other times, and we'll get with me on it. We can make arrangements to have another time to talk or have a Zoom or whatever. But in reality, I pretty much function off email. So if you want to reach out to me on email, you'll probably get an answer relatively quickly. And here's my email address. Required textbooks and instructional materials. There are none that you have to purchase. There's no textbook. The only thing that I will say here is that I've had several people over the classes that I've taught that have asked, "Do I need a computer?" And I'm assuming that means, could I do it on my mobile phone? And I would tell you that it is impractical to try to do it on your mobile phone. The screen is too small. You would not be able to see the details necessary to actually follow many of the videos and to do the homework. And so the short answer is, can you do it on your phone? No, you can't do it on your phone. You can try, but I'm telling you, it's not going to work. It would not be very satisfactory, and it wouldn't be good for you. Do you have to buy a computer? And the answer is no. There are computers that are available on campus. Of course, there are challenges there. Will a computer be available when you want? And will that computer have everything on it that you need? Those are the challenges. So, your best option is in fact to have a computer of some sort, whether it's a laptop, desktop, available that you can use and do what you need to do on it. That's it. Tablets, maybe. I would tend to think that, but again, the tablets are still a mobile experience, and so are you going to have an app that allows you to program, or do you need to be able to go through or do you need to be able to install a program, not an app, install a program? So again, yeah, the expectation is that you have a computer or a laptop. Okay, enough of that. Here's the breakdown. As you see, 3 programs, 3 exams. Exams are nearly half of your grade, so you really want to be ready for those. And the programming assignments are very important as well. As each of them is a significant chunk of your grade. If you mess up on all 3 of them, then the best possible grade you could get if you did everything else perfectly would be an 80. And that's still a good score, but you're also hoping that you can do everything else perfectly. So the reality of it is, all of it works very well. All of it's necessary, and of course, again, mentioning down here on the bottom is there is a final project that everybody will do, and that'll be taking most of the last month or so. 4 or 5 weeks of the class will be this final project. Again, everything's in D2L. That's all I'm going to say. Anything, below that. Read it. If you got questions, go find. Here's the breakdown. No, I don't fudge those things. And for that matter, one of the things that I want to talk about, again, D2L being the center of everything. I've had people in the past say, I'm having trouble uploading something. Well, okay, then let's talk about your problems with uploading, because the end of the day is, if it's not on D2L, it doesn't go in the gradebook. That's the way it goes. It's just that D2L is the record, and your information needs to be in D2L. And I've had people send it to me and say, well, I'm having troubles. Could you upload it for me? And the short answer is no, I can't. I really can't get into your account and upload it so that it looks like you did it. I don't have that kind of capability. That's an administrator thing, not an instructor thing. The upshot of it is, if you've got problems, let's talk about what those problems are and fix that as far as uploading. But you're still going to have it in there. Now, attendance, an online thing. Again, this is an online class, but it is not self-paced. Basically, the online part is time and place of your choosing, but you still got to get everything done on time. Okay, so it's not self-paced. A lot of people say online self-paced because there's a lot of classes out there that you can take online. I've taken several myself where, okay, I'll take this class, I'll take this particular class, and then 3 weeks later I'll take the other class. You can't do that in this class. You've got to stay on target. You've got to stay on target. So there's stuff coming out pretty much every week in there, and you need to be hitting those dates in there, or it's gonna cause consequences to your grade. So first of all, let's understand that that's what you're going to need to do. The other thing is that when you're in DTL, I have the ability to see which, when you've logged in, how long you stayed on, what pieces, what activities you did, how long you spent doing those activities, And of course, if you take exams and quizzes, those all happen on D2L as well. So I'll see all of that stuff there. The important thing to understand is, and I kind of go into this because this is, again, I mentioned this earlier. Some of you, this may be your first class in your first semester in college. College is considerably different than high school. And the biggest difference about it is there's no hold handing here. You're an adult. You're expected to act like an adult, and and do your work without me nagging you or any of those kinds of things, or your parents nagging you. You need to find the time to do this, and you have to control it. And a lot of people are challenged by time management, particularly in their first semester. And all I can say is, you've got to set regular times to do this work and stay on those regular times. And that's the way I found how to do about time management is I allocate a certain amount of my time per day to do some particular thing, and when that time comes up, I do that thing, and I only do that thing, and then then I move on. That's my best suggestion there. But the important thing to understand about that is that there are 3 times what this attendance policy is. It says in here after 3 times of non-attendance, and that would be I don't see any activity on D2L, I haven't seen that you're in the coursework, you haven't turned in assignments, I report you to the dean of students. Actually, to tell you the truth, the way it works is that there are several times a semester where they ping me and I'm required to upload, where you're at. I give them status reports and they track it, and they may send you an Instagram if you're behind. They may do something else. But the upshot of this, you've got to stay on task on this one. There is way too much here to think you can spend a month or 2 fooling around and then make it up in the last month. It's not going to happen. All right. Along with this, very similar is the next line. Technical difficulty would not be considered a valid reason for an extension. Why is that? Well, the simple fact of the matter is that you start the week knowing everything you need to do. You need to allow for time in the event that you have technical difficulties. You've got to do that. So, okay, I don't have to, I have until Sunday to turn it in, so I won't start working on it until Sunday morning. Oh, okay. And then you have technical difficulties and you can't upload on time. You're not going to get any sympathy from me. And you're not going to get an extension, nor are you going to get sympathy. I will assist you when you reach out to me on that problem. I'll assist you in whatever your technical problem is and offer you alternatives. But at the end of the day, you're an adult, you're responsible, you got to get it done, so you're not going to get sympathy from me on it, and you're not going to get extensions. Computer science tutoring, they're available. There's a link. Not going to go into that outside of the fact of telling you that tutors cannot help you with assignments. They can help you understand. They can help you understand general principles, and or if there's some kind of remedial piece that you need in there, whatever that happens, they can help you with those kinds of things, but they cannot help you with an assignment. And they can't help you with an assignment, exam, test, anything that you're required to turn in, they cannot help you with. The other thing, so we'll go there. They can help you, but they just can't help you with your specific assignments. You can tell them, hey, I'm having a problem doing this. I don't understand how that happens. This, that, and the other thing is fine. But they can't read your assignment and do the work for you. Period. Late policy, in general, for almost every single assignment in there, it will be available to you on Monday at 12:01. And you must complete it by 11:59 p.m. on Sunday. However, you can still upload it up to 1 week later, but it will cost 10% per day from your score. So if you score a 90 and you're 2 days late, you're going to get a 70. That's the way it works. And again, after 7 days have passed, and you will not have access to upload it, you will get a 0 on the class, on that activity, whatever that activity happens to be. You'll get a 0 on it. I can tell you, this is one of those things I tell people all the time is, it's better to get partial credit than none. A 0 is very, very painful to your GPA. All right. So I mentioned the tutors earlier, and this kind of thing is expanded upon in this next section on academic misconduct. And to be completely honest, this particular paragraph is the one that really has led to this kind of draconian, yes, you must read these documents and take a quiz and all that kind of thing before you can actually move on with the class. And that is because, number one, there has not been a single semester where one or more people have cheated, got caught, and paid the consequences. And that's such a waste. I really hate to do that. And that's the other point I want to bring up. I don't go looking for cheaters. However, 25 years in information security has kind of adapted my brain to look for, to recognize patterns that indicate something. In the information security world, we call it indicators of compromise. So I see patterns, and I can't unsee them. And if I see them, then I'm going to take action on it. And like I said, every single term, there's been more than one people that have been punished for academic misconduct. So, one of the more common things is, oh, well, I didn't understand, I couldn't do X. It's all here. It's all here in the syllabus. And so, of course, that's never a valid excuse because you were supposed to read and understand the syllabus to begin with. On top of everything else, I'm now sitting here telling you that, okay, you'll watch this intro and you hopefully read it, listened to it all the way through, and you hear this part. There is only one person that can actually help you with course material, and that's your instructor. Me. Okay. Your instructor is the only one that can help you with material. If you've got a question on homework, you got a question on reading, you got a question on any of the assignments, whatever, you need to ask me for help. You also can't help another student. You're not the instructor. You're not even a tutor. You cannot help another student. So, the fact that you happen to be roommates does not give you authority to help one of the other students. So, make this very, very clear. You got a question, you need assistance, you come to me. Send me an email, I'll do whatever I can to help you out. And you can see the penalties in there. I'm not going to go through all that. It's good. I'll look at the MSU handbook, students with disabilities. The other thing, recording class lectures. The essence of it is respect the effort that all your instructors have put into preparing the course materials. It is copyrighted material. Don't share it outside. Don't share it without permission. Period. Of course, most of the stuff's on YouTube, and personally, I make mine public, but that's still, that's for. But still, don't share it with someone without. I mean, you can send them a link because it's public, but don't share anything without my permission. That's enough of that. Yuck. All right, important dates. That's academic calendar is what that goes to. Other resources that are available. Cool. All right. We've gone through the syllabus to the extent that I want to go through it. You need to spend some time with it. Make sure you understand what's going on in there. We'll go from there. Returning back there, let's take a look at the schedule briefly. There are 17 weeks in the term. As you can see, we will not be doing anything the finals week. Again, I told you pretty much everything's going to be available to you at 12:01 a.m. on Monday, and everything has to be turned in by 11:59 p.m. on Sunday. 3 exams. Generally, during the exams, we don't have other stuff, reading or materials to be viewed or anything like that. We want you to concentrate on it. Again, though, don't wait till Sunday at 11:30 to do the exam. Technology glitches happen, and and again, I'm not going to have any real sympathy for you if you don't do it. There is a comment too that one additional comment about doing things late, because it occurs to me, can you do an exam late? Yes, you can. Again, same penalties apply. So again, it's much better if for some reason you don't do the exam in the full week that you had to do it. Okay, get it done as soon as possible. Don't blow it off at that point, because each of them is a significant chunk of your grade. So you don't want to miss out on that. You don't want to miss out on the things there. But here's the other thing is another thing I want you all to be aware of. So I offer feedback. I provide pretty detailed feedback on all your quizzes, everything you do. If there is a if you had an incorrect answer, I will try to explain kind of where you went wrong, and kind of give you some background on how to think, how you could have come up with the right answer, that kind of stuff. I won't just say, you messed up. I'll try to actually give you some valuable feedback in there. Again, kind of leading back to the cheating thing, the challenge is that feedback becomes, the challenge is that feedback, of course, gives insights into the exam, and if someone were to show that feedback to someone who hadn't taken the exam, they would have an unfair advantage, and that would be cheating. And to prevent that, I don't actually publish feedback for everybody till everybody has submitted their, when the last person submits their work, their exam, or whatever it happens to be, then I publish. Now, I may not be done grading everyone, but for everyone that I'm done grading, I will publish, and everyone, as they grade their stuff, gets published, and it's being available to them. So if you're delaying, you're actually not just delaying yourself, you're delaying your classmates' opportunity to go on there and see the feedback earlier rather than later. So try to be considerate, not only to me, but to your fellow classmates. Get the stuff done in time. Let's see. So at the end, we're going to spend from basically after exam 3, it's all going to be about the presentation. As you can see, there's a lot going on in there. So the presentation, and you'll get the details of the presentation when you complete the syllabus quiz successfully and everything's released. But in this presentation preparation thing, this is one of the things that, there's inevitably a few people that just don't get it. You must, in this first week, you must submit to me your topic, and I must approve it before you go forward. Before you actually begin working on your presentation, because I've had people submit things that had nothing to do with the topic. It was outside of the fact that it was technology. It had nothing to do with the particular topic that this project is all about. It had nothing to do with it. and it was technology related, and it was something they were interested and excited in, and that's all well and good, but that is not what the project is. And so I get a lot, so I can tell you up front, and I'll remind you when we get closer to doing this presentation, that the, you know, that the fact that that you did a great presentation on something that wasn't what we wanted isn't going to do you any favors. And so you have to present your proposal, and frequently there's I would tell you that probably 25% of people will submit something, and I will go back and say, yeah, but how does that topic apply to what we're going to talk about, what the subject is? And frequently people will come back and say, oh, well, I can make it happen this way. Okay, sometimes that's good. Sometimes it's like, nah, sorry, that ain't gonna work. Pick another topic. So, you know, but for some reason, there's also always a few people in there that kind of manage to skip the whole submission thing, and then they do the presentation, and then they're surprised by the deductions for the fact that they had, first of all, but having gone through that process, they could very well spend their time on a presentation that doesn't do anything, and we get a zero. I mean, I've had some people that did that. At the end, what they presented was of no value whatsoever, didn't meet any of the requirements of that particular assignment, and I had to give them a zero. And so that whole discussion thing that happens, the presentation preparation, the topic selection, and the discussion board post, that's very critical. Otherwise, you could spend a lot of time and a lot of effort and think you've done a great job and get a nasty surprise. So pay attention to that. Finals week, there is no final. So if everything goes well, that 17th week, you can spend studying and working and doing your other finals because you're already going to be complete. However, there is another one that people frequently miss on, was 16, and I'll remind you again when we get here. Week 16, you are required to look at least 2 other classmates' videos and make substantive comments on it. Substantive. Okay, let me clarify that. You must make comments that add value. Simply saying "good job, dude" or "dudette" is not sufficient. If you're going to say "good job," say what it is you liked about it, what you took away from it, interpret it. I would love to see people ask more questions. Hey, how did the questions could be, well, why did you conclude that from there? I would have thought, have an actual, just try to start a discussion about it, not just simply send a one-word sentence in there, or a quick sentence is nothing more than, oh yeah, you did a good job, dude, thanks. That's what we're looking for there, and you got to do it for 2. And a lot of people tend to forget it. I get it. You're getting towards the end, and you don't want to. You're ready to move on to other things. I get all of that, but at the end of the day, it's still a requirement. You got to get it done. So that's really all I have. We're probably a little over the time that I'd prefer, but we're right at about that. So what I'm going to leave you with is that I'm looking forward to a great semester with y'all. I hope you learn a lot. I hope you find some things that you really enjoy. I hope a number of you that are this is your toe into the waters of computers and everything else, come out of this excited and interested in learning more, because it's been a very rewarding field for me for the last 40 years, and certainly one I'd hardly recommend to anyone. And I would tell you, it is not as hard as people think. It is something you got to work at. It's not easy, but it is absolutely something that most people of reasonable intelligence could do if they're willing to put the effort into it. And I can tell you that the effort is worth it. So With that said, I'll let you go. Have a great semester.